Here's the data that should have ended the millionaire stereotype decades ago, and somehow never did. The vast majority of self-made millionaires do not look, live, or behave the way movies and social media suggest. They are disproportionately ordinary in appearance and disproportionately extraordinary in one specific area that almost nobody talks about: their daily structure. This is not about waking up early for its own sake. That myth has been overstated by content creators for a decade. It is about something more specific and more interesting. Self-made millionaires across multiple independent studies show a strikingly consistent pattern of 6 specific daily behaviors. Not motivational platitudes. Documented, repeated, structural habits, each with a measurable psychological or financial mechanism behind it. By the end of this video, you will have all 6 non-negotiable habits, the exact behavior, the documented evidence behind it, and the precise daily implementation. Not fantasy, not motivational noise. A pattern that shows up again and again in the data on how self-made wealth is actually built, one ordinary day at a time. Stay with me. Thomas Stanley's research and the decades of follow-up studies it inspired consistently found something that should reshape how we think about wealth building entirely. Self-made millionaires were not, on average, the highest earners in their fields. They were the most consistent practitioners of a small number of daily behaviors, repeated without exception for years before the wealth became visible. This is the single most liberating finding in all of wealth building research. You do not need a higher income to follow this pattern. You need the daily structure, applied consistently for years, without exception. 6 habits, each one documented across multiple studies, each one immediately implementable regardless of where you are starting from. Here is habit number 1, and it is the one that every single self-made millionaire in every study across every decade of research reports as completely non-negotiable. Habit 1, the protected morning hour. And here is the precise mechanism behind why this single habit shows up across nearly every study of high net worth individuals, from Stanley's original research to modern surveys by organizations like the Spectrum Group and WealthX. Self-made millionaires across the research consistently report using this hour for one of 3 activities: strategic planning, skill development, or financial review. Not email, not social media, not other people's agendas. This is the 1 hour of the day entirely allocated to compounding their own position before the world makes any claims on their attention. Habit 1, the protected morning hour, the 1 hour nobody else gets access to. Wake at least 60 minutes before any external obligation. 0 phone, 0 email, 0 notifications during this window. Use it for exactly one of strategic planning for the week, financial review, or skill development directly tied to income growth. Evidence, decision fatigue research, Baumeister, 1998. Documented in 84% plus of self-made millionaire profiles surveyed by Spectrum Group and WealthX studies on daily habits of high net worth individuals. Timing, 60 minutes minimum every single day before checking any device. The morning hour protects your best cognitive resource. Habit 2 is what self-made millionaires do with their money the moment it arrives. And it is the single biggest divider between wealth builders and everyone else. Habit 2, pay yourself first. This is the single most cited financial behavior in every major study on self-made wealth, from George Clason's foundational writing in The Richest Man in Babylon to modern behavioral finance research. And the mechanism behind why it works is more interesting than simple discipline. The specific percentage varies by study, but the consistent finding across self-made millionaire surveys is a minimum of 15 to 20% of gross income automatically diverted to investments before any discretionary spending occurs. Critically, this is automated, not willed. It happens through a standing transfer or automatic contribution, removing the daily temptation to skip it. Habit 2. Pay yourself first. Automated. The money you never see is the money that compounds. Set up an automatic transfer of 15 to 20% of every paycheck directly into an investment or savings account, scheduled for the same day income arrives. The transfer happens before you see the remaining balance, removing the decision from daily willpower. Evidence. Thaler, 1999, on mental accounting. Stanley and Danko's documented finding that self-made millionaires invest a significantly higher percentage of income than equally paid non-millionaires, regardless of income bracket. Timing. One-time setup, then fully automatic. Every payday, no exceptions. 2 habits down. The morning is protected. The money is compounding silently. But none of this matters if the money disappears into things that do not build wealth. Habit 3 is the most boring and most powerful financial behavior in the entire list. Habit 3. The lifestyle freeze, what behavioral economists call resistance to lifestyle inflation or hedonic adaptation creep. This is the habit most responsible for why 2 people with identical career trajectories and identical incomes can end up with dramatically different net worth after 20 years. Self-made millionaires across the research consistently report freezing major lifestyle upgrades for years after income increases, directing the difference into investments instead. This does not mean permanent austerity. It means a deliberate delay, often of 1 to 3 years, between an income increase and any corresponding lifestyle increase. That delay window is where the wealth gets built. Habit 3. The lifestyle freeze. Let the income rise. Let the spending wait. After every raise, bonus, or income increase, freeze your current spending level for a minimum of 6 to 12 months before allowing any lifestyle upgrade. Direct 100% of the increase into the automated investment transfer from Habit 2 during this window. Evidence. Hedonic adaptation research. Brickman and Campbell, 1971. Documented across multiple self-made millionaire surveys as the single strongest predictor of wealth accumulation independent of income level. Timing. Applied at every income increase, a 6 to 12 month minimum freeze period every time. 3 habits in. The money is protected from both spending leakage and lifestyle creep. But money sitting still does not become wealth on its own. Habit 4 is what self-made millionaires do with their knowledge, and it never stops, regardless of how successful they become. Habit 4. Deliberate daily learning. Warren Buffett, perhaps the most extensively studied self-made billionaire in financial history, has stated repeatedly across decades of interviews that he spends roughly 80% of his working day reading. Most self-made millionaires surveyed do not reach that extreme, but the consistent pattern across every major study is dramatically above average time spent on deliberate, field-relevant learning. Crucially, the research is specific about the type of learning that produces this effect. It is not passive entertainment consumption disguised as learning. It is deliberate, field-relevant study. Books, financial statements, industry analysis, skill development directly tied to income-generating capability. Self-made millionaires surveyed report this as a daily non-negotiable, not an occasional indulgence. Habit 4. Deliberate daily learning. Knowledge is the only asset that compounds without capital. Minimum 30 to 60 minutes daily of deliberate field-relevant learning. Books, financial statements, industry research, or skill development directly tied to your income-generating capability, not passive entertainment. Active study with notes or summary. Evidence. Buffett's documented 80% reading allocation. Becker's human capital theory, 1964. Consistent finding across self-made millionaire surveys of above-average deliberate learning time versus matched income non-millionaires. Timing, 30 to 60 minutes daily. Typically evening, but consistent timing matters more than the specific hour. 4 habits: time protected, money compounding, spending controlled, knowledge accumulating, but none of this survives contact with other people's financial habits unless habit 5 is also in place. And it is the most socially uncomfortable one on this list. Habit 5. The deliberate network audit. This is the habit most people resist discussing because it sounds calculating. But the research on social influence and financial behavior is unambiguous, and self-made millionaires across multiple studies report consciously and continuously managing who occupies their closest circle. This is not about abandoning loyal relationships or only associating with wealthy people. It is about deliberately ensuring that at least some portion of your closest circle models the specific financial behaviors you are trying to build through mentorship, masterminds, professional communities, or simply more intentional friendship choices. The habit is the audit itself, periodically and honestly assessing whether your closest circle is reinforcing or undermining your financial goals. Habit 5. The deliberate network audit. Your closest 5 people predict more than you'd like to admit. Quarterly, list your 5 closest regular connections. For each, honestly assess whether their financial habits and ambitions align with or undermine your goals. Deliberately seek at least one connection, mentor, mastermind, professional community, operating at a level above your current one. Evidence. Social contagion research on financial behavior transfer through close networks. Christakis and Fowler and related social network studies, consistently cited by self-made millionaires as a conscious practice in interviews and biographies. Timing. Quarterly audit, 15 minutes. Ongoing, deliberate relationship investment. 5 habits: time, money, spending, knowledge, and network, all deliberately structured. But none of these compound without the 6th habit, the one that ties every other habit together and prevents the entire system from quietly drifting apart. Habit 6. The weekly financial review. And this is the habit that makes every other habit in this video durable rather than accidental, because intentions decay without measurement, and financial drift is almost always invisible until it has already caused significant damage. Crucially, the research and the documented millionaire interviews agree on one detail. This review does not need to be elaborate. 15 minutes. The same 5 or 6 numbers every week at the same time. The power is not in sophistication. It is in the unbroken consistency, the same 15 minutes that Drew has never once protected and Frank has never once skipped. Habit 6. The weekly financial review. What gets measured weekly rarely drifts unnoticed. Every week, same day, same time, 15 minutes reviewing. Net worth trend, this period's investment contribution, spending versus plan, progress toward your current milestone, and one specific adjustment for next week. Write the 5 numbers down. Every week, no exceptions. Evidence. Locke and Latham's goal-setting theory, 1990. Feedback is a core mechanism for behavior change. Consistently described in self-made millionaire interviews and biographies as a non-negotiable weekly ritual. Timing. 15 minutes. Same day every week, typically Sunday evening or Monday morning. 6 habits, the complete pattern. Now let us put all 6 together and show you exactly what a single day looks like when every one of them is running simultaneously, because that is where the real promise of this video gets delivered. The 6 non-negotiable habits. Full delivery. Your complete daily and weekly schedule. Total daily time investment, approximately 90 to 120 minutes. Morning hour plus evening learning, plus automated systems running in the background. Average person, same income, reactive habits, lifestyle inflation, 6 habit system, same income, documented wealth building pattern. That is the complete system, 6 habits. None of them require a higher income to start. None of them require inherited wealth, a special talent, or a lucky break. They require structure, consistency, and the willingness to apply the same pattern documented across decades of research on how self-made wealth is actually built. That is the promise, delivered in full. The pattern is now yours. The only remaining question is whether you treat these 6 habits as non-negotiable, the way every single person in the research did. Nobody in the research became a self-made millionaire through a single decision, a single lucky break, or a single brilliant idea executed once. Every documented case shows the same unglamorous pattern. Ordinary days, repeated without exception for years until the compounding became visible to everyone except the person who'd been doing the work quietly the entire time. This is what self-made wealth actually looks like from the inside, not a single dramatic moment, but thousands of ordinary mornings where the non-negotiable habit happened anyway. Not because it felt exciting on any individual day, but because the person had decided once that these 6 things were not optional, and then never revisited that decision again. Wealth is not built in the dramatic moments. It is built in the ordinary ones, repeated without exception. The 6 habits start today. Share this with one person who is earning well, but not building wealth. They may simply be missing the structure, not the income. Subscribe for more of this every week, and tell me in the comments which of the 6 habits are you starting with today. I read every single one. See you in the next video.